Meet my never lucky Ironman, forks only, no spoons allowed here. After maxing my main and nearly maxing my Ironman, I wanted to try something new. RuneScape with getting unlucky on every grind in the game. If I get any drop before the drop rate, I can't use or keep it. Valuable items will periodically be given out to viewers and subs. My goal is to complete the Inferno, and I'm not going to stop there. Please subscribe to my only forks. I mean, forks only. What is up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. Right now I'm still hanging out in the Mage Training Arena room, just getting some more Magic XP. Really, I need to get more Magic XP because I want to get 66 Magic for easy access to nature runes. So last time I talked about how a lot of my items on my mid-game checklist tie in together, and I want to get into a little more detail about that now, and to do that we need to talk about the Dagganoth King in the room. So the Berserker ring is best in slot melee ring throughout the whole game. It's absolutely best in slot once you get it imbued at the Nightmare Zone. And so I want to go for one of these, and I'm going to talk about my plan to do that. So Dagganoth Rex drops the Berserker ring, and it's a 1 in 128 drop, which doesn't sound too bad, but he does take a while to kill and has a really long respawn timer, so that'll be hours and hours of grinding, but again, not so bad. The problem is, Dagganoth Rex's stats are extremely high defensively, except for magic. So I'm definitely going to want to use magic to kill him. And I'm going to use Iban's Blast. Remember, the Iban's staff is going to allow me to hit up to 25s, which is pretty ridiculous for this point in the game. But the problem with that is, Iban's Blast is really expensive to use. So with my current gear and stats, I have about 96% accuracy hitting Dagganoth Rex, which sounds great, but since the Iban's Blast does between 0 and 25 damage on a successful hit, that means my average damage per shot is going to be 12.5. And he has 255 hit points, so that comes down to about 21 or 22 blasts to kill him. Now, the problem with that is each blast uses 1 death rune and 5 fire runes. Death runes are approximately 200 GP to buy, and then fire runes are about 4 or 5 GP each. So let's just say 220 total GP per attack. So that means it's going to cost me almost 5k for every kill. And just doing that 128 times, it's going to be about 600k in raw GP just to get to the drop rate. Not to even mention get the Berserker ring, which I have to keep going after I get the drop rate. Potentially another 128 or much more. So we're going to need a lot of GP. Now, since this is a hardcore Ironman account, that's going to be a bit challenging. I couldn't hang out at the agility pyramid till the end of time, getting, about 200k GP an hour or less, but I really don't want to just sit there for 10 hours if I don't have to. Plus, my agility is already getting close to 70, and that was when I wanted to stop agility pyramid. So I have a plan that's going to tie in with some of my other items on my checklist. So I need 75 woodcutting, and I want to finish the Lumbridge and Ardone medium diaries. So the Lumbridge and Ardone medium diaries actually require 59 fletching for an Ironman because you have to make a mithril grapple. And so what I'm going to do to solve this issue is I'm going to chop trees and fletch stuff out of them. But what I'm going to do specifically is I'm going to try to get my fletching up to 50 so that I can start fletching maple short bows. And then when you fletch a maple short bow and then string it using a bowstring, then you can high alch it afterwards for 240 GP. Whereas nature runes are more in the 180 to 200 cost. So that'll get you a little bit of profit every time you use High Alchemy, because High Alchemy costs 1 nature rune and a few fire runes, but if you're holding a fire staff, then it just uses the nature rune. So I need access to nature runes, which is why I need my 66 magic. I need my fletching at least to 50 so I can get to fletching maple short bows. Not to mention, if I get my fletching even higher, the maple long bows and used short bows alch for way more as well. So that's always an option. But to do that, I'm missing one piece here, and that's the bowstrings. I'm going to need a lot of bowstrings. And if you remember a while back, I completed the Darkness of Hallowvale quest, which took forever to go through. And I mentioned that I wanted to do that to unlock temple trekking. Well, luckily temple trekking has bowstrings as one of the reward options. And if you do the easy temple treks, I think you can get somewhere like 3,000 bowstrings an hour, which is just insane, really. And that's going to be amazing for all my fletching that I'm going to need to do. So since we already finished that quest, let's go do some temple trekking and get a bunch of bowstrings stacked up. And then I need to, get my fletching to 50 first, and then I can go on and make a ton of bows. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going to do that, get a ton of GP, and then soon after we can take on Dagganoth Rex. So here I am just hanging out in Seer's Village getting some fletching levels. This is actually pretty damn slow because I have to cut the logs first, then cut all the logs with the knife into arrow shafts and then combine them with feathers. But I mean, it's going. I'm getting some XP. Yeah, not too bad. There's 35 fletching. And just keep going. There's 40. And here we go. There's 42. Now I've finally banked enough arrow shafts and feathers to where I don't need to cut logs anymore to get to 50. I can just combine these. And remember, 50 is my goal because that's when I can start making maple short bows, which are going to be good for alking. So now at 42, I'm just going to go and actually hang out underwater on Fossil Island and combine my arrow shafts and feathers to get to 50. And it's actually super nice because while doing this, I'm sitting around collecting seaweed spores because they spawn on the floor randomly here, since I'm going to need a ton of seaweed for crafting. And I'll get into more of that later. But yeah, I'm just going to hang out here for a couple hours and do some fletching. And there's 45 and 50 fletching. Okay. All right, now let's go do some temple trekking to get those bowstrings. So temple trekking, you can see I go here and take the easy path, and then I just select Route 1. The good thing about this is, whenever you get into encounters like this with the ghasts, you can just run off to the side and evade the encounter to avoid it completely, and then just keep going along the trek. There are a few puzzles that you have to do when you get the puzzle events, and some of those can take a while, especially the bog, but most of them aren't too bad. Another good benefit of doing this temple trekking right now is I can actually get the lumberjack outfit, which will give me a little bit of extra woodcutting XP. It's only 2.5% extra, but every little bit helps. So let's just keep going along this path. And sometimes you get lucky and don't get many events, as you can see here. And then when you get to the end, then you get a little reward token, and you can cash that in for bowstrings. And you can see I got 100 right there. And another one, and there's another 100. So I can probably get about 30 of these an hour. It's only giving me the minimum of 100 because I'm evading all the encounters and just kind of skipping through everything. But yeah, we're going to hang out here for about an hour, maybe a little more, get the lumberjack outfit, and get, around 3,000 bowstrings. Man, this bog event is so annoying. It takes so long. I have to cut some sticks off of this bush and then just walk around and test it out on all the spots in the bog until I can find a path through. And sometimes you'll find a path that looks like it's right, and then you'll end up having to turn around and go find a different path. It's just frustrating, but whatever. I'm making progress, getting some bowstrings. Can't complain too much. All right, and it looks like I got the event here where I can get the lumberjack outfit. So these undead lumberjacks that come out of the river have a 1 in 4 chance of dropping a piece of the outfit, but you only get 1 piece per event. So I'm just gonna stay here and kill them until I've killed 4, and then hopefully get the outfit after. They also drop planks, and then you use those to repair the bridge to move on, but yeah, we're not as interested in those. We're just gonna kill these guys. And let's fast forward a little bit. I find it hard to believe that this lumberjack outfit's 1 in 4. It feels like I've killed so many of these guys and still nothing. But I think Jagex just knows this account isn't supposed to get lucky, so they're treating me properly. But it'll happen eventually, I think. They keep stopping spawning, it looks like, and then I have to, put down another plank or two and maybe even cross the bridge and come back. But yeah, let's just keep going. And there we go, there's the lumberjack top. That was, I think, 11 of them killed before getting it. But yeah, whatever. Alright, now we can just keep moving on and go get some more bowstrings. Alright, and about 1 hour later, we have 3,100 bowstrings and the full lumberjack outfit, so not too bad at all. And now that I have this, I can go use all those maple logs that I've already cut from training my wood cutting. I'm going to fletch them into bows, create full bows with them with the bowstrings, and, well, I can't alch them yet because I still need to get a bunch of magic levels, but we can at least get the fletching out of the way. And remember, this fletching requirement is also going to help because I need 59 fletching for the diaries, so it's all this fletching is going to help with that a ton too. So yeah, let's go back to Fossil Island, hang out by the seaweed, and do some more fletching. Alright, and so this is actually taking a bit longer to cut these logs than you'd expect. It's pretty AFK, honestly, so it's kind of nice. I've just been doing it during meetings at work. And there's 55 fletching, so now I can make maple longbows instead of just short bows, and those alch for more, so it's a huge bonus. And let's keep going. Once I get to 65 fletching, I can make yew short bows that alch for even more. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep on chopping up these maple logs and then stringing them. And there's 60 fletching. And there we go, 65 fletching. So not too bad at all. I actually ended up using almost all of those 3,000 bowstrings that I got, which is kind of crazy. But that just means I have a ton of stuff to alch when I get my magic up to 66. Again, you know, I could get nature runes some other way, but I want to unlock the Mage's Guild anyway. You can buy mystic robes in there, and it's just really nice to have a easy access shop with all the runes in it, pretty much. So yeah, let's go back to training our magic up. And there's 59 from Mage Training Arena. Took a detour here to go kill some more blue dragons and get a couple levels because I wanted to collect some more bones. So there's 61. And we'll go back to Mage Training Arena. And 63, 64, 65 magic, and 66. Finally, I feel like I'm insane for spending this long in the telekinetic room at Mage Training Arena. You have no idea how long this took. It was several hours, like lots and lots of hours, but and it's just incredibly boring. But hey, we're done. We're at 66 magic now. I'm gonna head on over to the Wizards Guild, buy up a ton of nature runes, and start doing some alching. Alright, I bought up some nature runes that I had. I didn't have a ton of cash, but got a couple hundred of them, and you know, I'm gonna just start working on this stack of 2,400 bows that I have. And yeah, I think I might go hit up the agility pyramid too while I do this and do some agility while alching for a ton of cash. And yeah, let's go do that. And after I get through all these, I think I'll pretty much be ready to go take on Dagganoth Rex. But you know, it's probably gonna take me a while to get through that many bows, so you know, in the meantime, I'll probably work on some of my other goals, but that's another item checked off my list. There's the 66 magic gone, and that's a huge one. Magic's way easier to train now because I can just buy up nature runes, and I have a secret magic training method that not many people would think of that is actually super helpful, and my magic will be shooting up in no time. I'll have that 78 plus the boost for the Barrows portal before you know it, so I'm not even worried about that. I'm super excited. I got the 66 requirement out of the way. We're gonna go alch all these and then get ready to take on Dagganoth Rex soon, so he should be scared. He should be very scared. We're taking all his B rings and he should be shaking in his cave. So yeah, we'll get him next time. Also, I wanted to mention that I think I did figure out what's going on with my computer. I was having a lot of crashes, and I believe it was my power supply. I swapped it out for a new power supply and haven't had a single crash since. It's a little frustrating because the power supply I was using was fairly new, but when I was staying at my parents' house over Christmas, we had a power outage, and I guess their surge protector is a piece of garbage because clearly it didn't protect anything. But that's okay. I had a spare power supply lying around, so I think we're good to go now, and I don't have to worry about crashes killing my character. So yeah, that's super exciting for me. Also, I don't know if anyone would be interested in this, but I could potentially stream some of my kills for Dagganoth Rex on Twitch, or I could even stream on YouTube if you guys would prefer. But I think I might start doing that as I get into more of the bossing content. I was thinking about waiting to stream until I got to some really cool stuff like Inferno attempts or maybe like Corrupted Gauntlet, but I could stream some of the early stuff too. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know if you'd prefer if I streamed on YouTube or Twitch. I have my Twitch just in the video description. If you want to go follow me on there, feel free to. But yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. So, you know, let me know again if you have any feedback. If you liked the new intro with the music in the background, let me know. But yeah, I think that's about it. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.